It's judgment time on Great British Menu, and a place in our national finals is at stake. 3 of the Central Region's top chefs have been fighting it out to get a dish on the menu at the People's Banquet. All week, tension has been running high.
Do you want me to shut up?
Yeah, that would be great if you would.
And former champion Glyn Purnell had to issue an unprecedented warning to one contender.
I don't think it's fair that people are hitting times and you're not. This is the final warning.
Sue Ellis scored lowest and had to leave the competition early. Today, Richard Bainbridge and Akhtar Islam must cook their entire menus again for the judges.
He's just showing off here. And to be honest with you, I don't think he's showing off very well.
Cooking is not good enough. 2 sauces are fantastic, but you cannot live on sauce alone.
Both chefs desperately want to win today. The prize is a place in the Great British Menu final, where the regional champions will do battle for the honour of cooking at the People's Banquet. Michelin-starred Richard Bainbridge is in the competition for the 2nd year running, but this is his first time before the judges.
I'm confident with my dishes and I know they're good, and all I've got to do is make sure they're perfect going out.
Akhtar Islam has scored well with his innovative take on authentic Indian cuisine, but he knows he has his work cut out today.
Richard is an extremely talented chef and is a quirky guy, and that quirky character comes through on his food. But I've got some seriously interesting flavours, and that's the angle I'm going to use.
Our discerning judges, Prue Leith, Matthew Fort and Oliver Payton, are looking for magnificent platters of food, delicious dishes that will create a spectacle and be perfect for sharing.
It has to be showy. It has to look beautiful.
I want to see something that sort of sits on this table, and we all want to get our hands into it.
And when you do get your hands on it, or you need your knife and fork, it then melts in your mouth and sends your senses spinning and singing home.
Akhtar and Richard will both cook their 4 courses today. With 2 very distinctive styles, the judges may guess whose dishes are whose, but they won't know for certain until after they've picked a winning menu. Both chefs know how much is riding on today.
Akhtar, at this point, obviously we got through the first hurdle. Do you think you're safe?
For me, ultimately, I do want to make it onto the banquet. You know, Glyn's done very well for our city, and he's made it onto the banquet. I want to sort of keep that Brummie tradition going.
Yeah, but now you got a Norfolk boy trying to push you off. Don't ever underestimate us Norfolk boys.
In the heats, Akhtar's ambitious tiffin of Indian street food made him late to the pass, something Richard won't let him forget.
I'll go up first for a starter, give you a little bit of a helping hand on there.
That's so considerate of you. Thank you very much.
I like to think of myself as a gentleman.
Well, I think I've got it in the bag, but thank you very much anyway. I'll return the favour for your main course.
I knew there was a cocky, slightly arrogant side of you. I was waiting for it to come out, to be honest.
Now Richard needs to focus, as he's first up today with his quirky take on an English picnic of quail, served in individual hampers with a Scotch egg, cheese scone and tomato vinaigrette.
I've just done a little test on my little Scotch egg, because you know Glyn was commenting about it maybe needed a little bit more cooking. Do you want to try some?
Yeah. I said a touch too much salt.
Richard knows the presentation could make or break this simple dish, but with time tight, a napkin has gone missing.
I'm still 1 short. Got to be around here somewhere. I'm ready to the nut. I'm gonna have to...
Because I know all the props were... You feeling the pressure, chef?
Richard wants everything to be perfect for the judges. He's well aware he can't afford to be late.
Nah, they're underneath the flap, everyone. I've found them. Panic over, people.
Mate, you're telling me today's all about having fun. Still having fun?
I'll ask you after you served your starter.
Give your hand with the box, chef?
Yes, please. Let's go, let's go.
Disaster averted, Richard gets his starter to the pass in the nick of time.
Lovely. Go, go, go. Away.
Richard gained a good score for his starter in the week, despite its simplicity. What will the judges think?
Thank you, Prue.
It's a picnic.
It's a very small picnic.
I think that's slightly disappointing. It's just a little dinky plate.
Little Scotch egg there.
Good?
Sweet, delicious pork. Lovely, crunchy, slightly sandy outside.
That quail is delicious.
One of the most important things about this box is it stops you communicating with other people. It's very personal to you. So you're not sharing the food.
But it's delicious to eat, and it's beautifully prepared.
It's fun and it's funny, but it isn't fabulous, and I think that's where it falls down.
So some praise from the judges, but hardly a resounding triumph. Could it be a chance for Akhtar to push ahead? His complex dish includes stuffed courgette flowers, pea and spinach cake and pakora. In the starter round, not only was he late, but he failed to execute all the elements to a high standard. Richard's hoping that Akhtar will slip up again today.
So, how are you looking, Akhtar? Think you're going to be on time for this one?
I should be okay.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. 5 minutes, huh? You're not too relaxed now, are you?
Oh, not at all, mate.
Akhtar places his array of Indian street foods into modern tiffin boxes. But Richard's not finished with him yet.
1 minute left, Jeff.
Okay, I'm just...
How are you at tying a knot in speed? Maybe you should go and spend some time in the Navy.
Akhtar's not put off his stride and brings his tiffin of Indian street food and selection of chutneys to the pass bang on time.
Be careful with that. And I've got all the dips there.
Well, Prue, has that presentation been elaborate enough for you?
This is real sharing.
Yeah.
But it's a picnic still.
There we go.
Thank you.
It's not an unhefty first course.
Well, I don't know. 5 bites?
Fine courgette flour.
I think courgette flour is nice. I think the flavour of the courgette flour is slightly lost. I don't see why we need the sauces, because I think each of the individual items are flavoured so well.
You don't have to have it. You can choose whether you have it or not.
I just don't understand why the chef had to go to... It's like turning up the 11 on the volume.
The little potato cake is definitely helped by a bit of the chilli. Do you know, I think this will be hugely popular. It ticks all the boxes about sharing, about looking spectacular.
Slight query over the practicality of it all. I feel slightly sorry for the chef, because if he goes through on this, he's not just cooking one dish, he's actually cooking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dishes.
100 times.
100 times, which is, you know, as they say, is a big ask.
So mixed reviews for Akhtar too. With 3 more courses to go, the field's still wide open. Next up, it's the fish course. Richard will again be first to the pass with his 70s-inspired lobster fondue, and his nerves are starting to show.
Terrified about putting up my next one. My fish is my weakest.
Aware that he beat Richard on the fish course, Akhtar is keen to find out if he's upped his game.
And are we going to see any changes to that fish at all?
I know my flavours are there. I think the way my fish is dressed, it's fun, it's quirky, it's not over the top. Quite clearly you're a fella who likes to go over the top. I like to keep my feet on the ground a little bit more.
I'm all about impressing, you know. I like to impress. I like to make the effort.
I know, I've seen your car outside.
Lobster cooked, he pours out his fondue sauce and adds a final quirky touch. Some dehydrated vegetables he hopes will intrigue the judges.
Which way are we going?
Just on the pass, that'd be great. Thank you. Obviously, Akhtar's feeling a bit more confident, a bit more cocky, but that's spurring me on. All I want to do now is beat him.
It's our old friend, the lobster. I think I might have fallen asleep by the time this actually gets around to being served.
Oh, I think it's intriguing.
Right, we've dipped that in there. Is this going to be incredibly messy to eat?
Very messy to eat. I don't understand why we didn't get one each.
This is a sharing exercise, remember?
This is absolutely delicious.
It is delicious.
Perfect lobster. Sweet
lobster.
as anything.
These little desiccated bits, I'm not sure they add anything at all.
Chewy texture.
Grit.
It's just not right, though, is it? Come on, let's be honest here. I'm just not feeling the love for this at all.
I don't agree. This is very luxurious, very beautiful, and a real treat.
This is so not a feast for the eyes. It's got no sense of occasion to it at all. I really wouldn't want to see a concoction like this at such an important occasion.
Do you know, I would love to see lobster because I think it's so special, and anyway I love lobster. But I agree with you that he could have made that lobster look so much more dramatic.
So a mostly positive reaction from two of the judges. Now it's Akhtar's turn, and Richard knows his fish course is a strong contender. He's serving a double dish of wild sea bass with coconut gravy and soft-shell crabs with mango chutney. While Richard's knowledge comes from training in Michelin star kitchens, Akhtar is largely self-taught, and his methods have been fascinating his rivals all week.
You can tell that that's come through traditional, through family, through doing and tasting and eating. Whereas I've been taught strict, this is right, this is wrong.
It is literally from intuition. That's the thing with spices, it's a hard thing to sort of master.
Richard's hoping his precision will give him the edge today, and Akhtar's intuitive approach will let him down.
Oh, so you half steam it and then you put the spinach in?
Yeah, if you touch that, you can see it's still slightly under.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, this was the second course that Akhtar delivered late to the pass.
Tick-tock, Akhtar. 6 minutes left.
And Richard's taking every opportunity to pile on the pressure.
Do you still think serving whole crabs for a banquet is fitting?
Hey, everyone likes a bit of crab, I'd say.
I'm from Norfolk. We have some of the best crabs in the world, but I wouldn't serve it deep fried.
It's all about this lovely batter they're in.
Yeah. Delicious batter. I ain't going to tell you how to cook it, mate.
Akhtar has managed to get his sea bass to the pass on time today. But have Richard's jibes rattled him?
Yeah, I'm feeling slightly nervy with the crab now. I would have liked it to be a bit more crisp. I'm hoping that's not picked up on too much. It's the pressure that's got to me towards the end.
Banana leaf. Ooh. Now that's more like it. That's drama. That's theatre. One of the problems with cooking sea bass like this, of course, is the fact that it's very easy to overcook it. And I think that's what's happened here.
I do love the sauce. I think the sauce is actually delicious, and I think it's a wonderful, I think it's a really delicious contrast to the first course.
Bass are not particularly good when they're large, are they? You know, bass are much better when they're smaller. You get a lot more flavour.
That's complete tosh, Oliver.
No, it's not tosh.
I'm sorry, it is, in fact, bigger the bass, the better the bass.
This green mango relish is just delicious.
Soft-shell crab needs to be just perfect in order to eat it. I mean, that one...
And it isn't. It's really a bit soggy.
I think the idea of this fish as a sharing dish is a very good idea.
Rather addicted to this stuffing.
You know, the stuffing's lovely, the sauce is lovely, and the relish is absolutely divine, but the fish is flavour-free.
It's a slight comment on the dish when you think actually the sauce and the relish are the best bits of it, which I think you actually, frankly, you could have served up an old telephone directory with those and have been absolutely delicious to eat. And they've almost rescued the fish, but not quite.
Idea's right. Nice big fish, dramatic. Cooking is not good enough. 2 sauces are fantastic, but you cannot live on sauce alone.
Back in the kitchen, it's the halfway stage, and both chefs hope that they are in the lead. And with 2 courses still to go, it's all to play for.
To cook at the People's Banquet was always my goal from the minute I said yes to the competition to this point, and that is still my main goal, and I just want to get there now.
We're here for the opportunity to cook at the People's Banquet. It's very serious, it is cutthroat, and we need, we're both gunning for that position.
On to the main course, and Akhtar's serving slow-roasted shoulder of lamb with cashew nut and caramelised onion gravy, plus 3 different vegetables and biryani. This was his highest scoring dish during the week.
Every chef loves to be the big main course winner.
You're right, every chef wants the main course, and I'm no different.
It's like the manly role, isn't it? You get main course.
You're the man.
Exactly, totally.
Now Akhtar's plating up first, and Richard's keeping up his campaign to unsettle him.
You seem a little bit stressed, you seem a little bit rushing around.
Yeah,
you're worried about getting there on time. What's the one thing that you think might not be ready in time? What are you worried about?
Just trying to get my veg ready, my stock ready, so I've left a lot to do for this course.
But seeing how well his lamb has turned out gives Akhtar the confidence to fight